the amazing Sharon Castle. What a privilege to have you on the HealSpace couches with me.
Thank you.
And I met you, 6-7 years ago, long time ago when I got you, and I was on a path of absolute destruction in my personal life. And I remember having, doing a lot of work for you. I learned a lot. But something, as you said, came up which struck me. And you said something amazing to me, and that is, your trauma is your responsibility, and the healing is yours. And I'll never forget. I think that put me on a different path. And we're going to talk a lot today about different things. I want to talk about MindFit coaching. I want to talk about your inner GPS, something that you're currently busy with, and de-stressing.
Yes.
So I don't know, where do we begin? Let's begin with Sharon. Sharon, who are you?
Sometimes I ask myself that. But I think that we all come to this world with a definite purpose, if you want to call it a purpose or a path, and you get called to do something. And if you allow yourself to hear the call, you show up and you respond to what shows up. And I did that many, many years ago, 42 years ago, almost 43 years ago. And it's been an incredible journey. But even at the time when I started to realize that I had a gift, I wasn't sure what it was, but I have this incredible person in my life, my husband, Rob. He constantly says to me, you have a gift and you need to own it. And even for me, teaching this stuff for such a long time, I was under the impression that I had to go get it out there. I had to go find it. I had to go search for it. I was a seeker. I think I'm still in the space where I love to learn. And I think I found the truth that I was looking for. And that is to really understand me. So, I jest and say sometimes I question myself, because we all get to those places in our lives where we have questions. And why is this happening the way it's happening? I think the key is to realize that we are never victims. Life is not happening to us. It is most definitely happening for us. And it molds and shapes us. And we come with a gift, maybe unrecognizable. But as we go through life, there's a point, a tipping point, a turning point, a pivotal point where we get to understand that all of those previous experiences, people, traumas, events, circumstances were essential for us to be who we are.
Absolutely.
Shapes us.
You also said something some time ago, which I picked up, which was absolutely an eye-opener for me, is that a lot of people think they're broken.
Yes.
And you say we are not broken.
Definitely not.
Get broken.
No.
Explain.
Well, I was under the impression that I was broken until somebody pointed out to me that who I was at my core was never going to change. I came pure, clear, clean. I have love. I have generosity. I have kindness. I have forgiveness. I have all those beautiful, if you want to call them fruits of the Spirit, that's what they are. And so the things that were going on in my life and had been going on had put layers over that. So it never went away. So that sense, that inner part of me was never broken. I had a lot of broken thinking. And that is the core. When you understand who you are, the human psyche and how you operate, that there is an element inside of you, what I now call your inner GPS, your inner guidance system, that allows you to navigate life. And even although things will happen to you, life will laugh. You can hold that space of life laughing, and maybe not in a great way, but you can also hold the space of, I'm going to be okay. And when you've got that as your solid foundation, that side of you, it's so rock solid, is what I call home. So the inner GPS will guide you back to yourself, to home. So yes, we can learn, we've got guides and mentors. I'm a coach, obviously I help people. And even before I found this incredible information I was helping people. But it was this endless loop of, I think this way, I feel this way, I take this action, I feel relief, but it never stops the thinking.
Yeah.
And when you see through the illusion that you are feeding yourself information that keeps you stuck in that loop of trauma, of pain, of suffering, you realize that you're the one giving it to yourself. You literally feeding it to you.
Feeding it to yourself.
And no one else.
It's exactly with negative thoughts, negative patterns, and that kind of stuff. But isn't it true that all you need is basically already inside you?
That's it.
You just need somebody to guide you and
Yes, to wake you up.
that's it.
Tap you on the shoulder and say to you, do you know that you have this amazing ability? It's not possible that we're still upright, sitting here, speaking to each other, and we don't have things that we need to do, achieve, desire, get to.
Yeah.
So if we're still here, literally, and we're not 6 feet under,
Yeah.
we have things that we must do.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that tells me that I have everything I need, that I've always had everything I need until I forget, I fall asleep again, and then I start to look at life through the lens of, this is not right, that's wrong, he didn't, she did. All of those out there blaming, naming, shaming, complaining, pointing fingers, when really it lies with me.
How important do you think the outside world is affecting us? Just looking at social media, news, and do you think we need to protect ourselves against all that negativity that comes to us the whole time? Being in a negative relationship, being around negative people.
Yeah, well, I think I could speak to that by saying we are all operating from a certain level or a state of being, what I call consciousness. So yes, the world out there is chaos. Do we need to protect ourselves? I think the right word to use is we need to inform ourselves. We want to know what's going on. But if we are sitting, marinating in it, if we're inundated with it, it's daily, it's that same method, it's feeding us information that we are now interpreting as there's doom and gloom. And then it's not true.
Yeah.
Because I see people doing amazing things as much as I see people doing atrocious things. But they are still asleep and there's no consciousness. They're at a very low level, a very low frequency of sensing that the world is going to hurt them, when really you hurt yourself with the thinking about the world hurting you. It sounds so confusing. But if you look through to the truth of that statement, it's about choosing situations, choosing people. And then as your consciousness grows and your BS monitor goes up, you sort of become intolerant of that feeling. And that's when you literally have to say, I have to remove myself. Sometimes it's remove myself from the TV because it's getting that information, or the music, or the book, or the person, or the shopping, or the whatever, because it's not helping me. And the feeling is the part that we could trust, because this can sometimes lie to us because it's a program. I mean, you wrote about that in your book all the time. It's that programming. You think this is all there is.
Yeah.
And until you wake up to the fact there's so much. Life is so beautiful.
I want to talk about something that I find very interesting in what you're teaching at the moment. And I love just your whole career and been working with you. And the stuff I had to record for you was awakening. And that's what your business is all about, or your counseling or coaching. But you can't get busy with your inner GPS.
Yes.
Tell me more about that. Is that fascinating to you?
It's such an exciting project. And it literally came to me on a day that I was looking for something that I could empower my coaches with, because I've got a MindFit Coaching Academy.
Yes.
We'll only be 5 years in February. We're a baby company. But I was certifying these coaches, and they were a little bit scared to go out there and, put themselves on platforms and speak and teach and all those. So I wanted to give them something. And so I took and consolidated a lot of the stuff that I was teaching over the years and created a curriculum. So it's a program that's written up. It has resources, it has tools, it has worksheets. So it's got everything that they need. So now they've got something that they can literally say, I know this such, because they can have it, use it, and give it to people. And then what's happened was some of the coaches were still a little bit frightened. Then I said to them, all right, come, work with me. Let's work together. Let's be on this mission, on this movement together to wake people up.
Yep.
And so I've certified 38 coaches over the last few years. And we have so many of them now just stepping up and say, I want to create a little community of my own. We support them, we guide them, we mentor them. And so they take over their own little business under the MindFit brand. We help them, and it's growing so beautifully. So I love that program so much. It really is, I think right now, it's Wise the Awakening, coaches calling, those are all still in place, but Energy GPS seems to be the one. And now we've also got it on an app, and so they can access that information and they can use it for their clients. So I love this quote. May I give you a quote?
Absolutely. I love quote. My book is full of quotes.
I know. Margaret Mead was a woman who said, never underestimate the power of a small group of people to change the world. In fact, it's the only thing that ever has. And so just one coach at a time, one little group at a time, and that kind of escalates and grows. And then my vision and my dream is to get these little groups of people with a mentor, a guide. We call them the Energy GPS facilitators, and they help people find their way.
It's like this song. I'm just sitting here, and it's like the song Michael Jackson made famous. If you want to make a change, start with the man in the mirror. Now, if you had two men or ladies or a combination of that makes that change for themselves, that's teaming up, and now they've got tools, we can change the world.
100%, which is what you're doing now because of all the things you've experienced, which is why I wanted to be here today, because you have got a message that is so meaningful and so helpful, and you've got to get that out.
Absolutely. De-stressing, I think we at that time of the year, this December.
Yes.
So it's Christmas time, it's festive time. A lot of people is going on holiday, a lot of people's not. A lot of people is stressed, due to finances, due to relationships. I read an email this morning that you sent out about de-stress. Tell me more about that program, and if somebody watching this says, I'm stressed, I need to get this program, how can they get it? What is de-stressing about?
So there isn't a word called de-stressing. I kind of made that up.
Okay.
You can be stressed or not stressed,
Yeah.
but and I called it the subtle art
Of de-stress.
of de-stressing, because to me, it feels like there's an artistry involved in saying, I no longer want to worry, I want to wonder.
Yeah.
And it's so small. It's a subtle little shift that you can use to remind yourself that worry is an option. But you can choose to wonder what the outcome might be.
Wow.
You'll never know, because we don't know what's for a holds.
I read something some time ago about also a famous counselor coach, and they say that 95 or 95% of things we worry about never come true.
Exactly.
How crazy is that?
It's crazy. And there's something that pops into my mind, about like if you worry about your health. And I can't remember who wrote it or where I read it, but he said, if you worry and it's true, you would have wasted your time because there was nothing you could do.
Yeah.
If you worry and it's not true, you would have wasted your time worrying. So why worry?
Exactly.
Because we just don't know. We're in this present moment. We can have dreams and goals and visions and and desires for the future, and we must.
Absolutely.
We must. But we need to be here now.
I'm going to talk about that because that's something you teach as well. And I know being in the presence.
Yes.
That is something that I also learned from you, is that you worry about the future. So you can't let go of the past, and you're missing the whole lot because you're not in the presence. And not being in the presence can ruin marriages.
It can destroy so many things.
Tell me more about being in the presence.
Well, the present moment is really all we have.
Yeah.
The past is completely gone. The future has never arrived and never will. So I hate people to miss the good life that they have by being so anxious about the future or so worried about the past, where you cannot make an impact on either of them. You literally can just take the next step that you know to take now. And if you're not present, you'll miss that.
Yeah.
And now you get the confusion, you're at a crossroads all the time. Is it this way or is it this way? And everything that you consider that has happened before can limit you and keep you stuck in the loop of, yes, but what if it goes wrong again? That's using your intellect. And your intellect is not smart.
Yeah.
It's based on everything you've learned. You want to use the intelligence behind life that will give you what you need in real time.
Yeah.
Right now. It's not going to give it to you when it's already gone, and it certainly can't give it to you when you're not there, because it's in the future. So you can't even be on step 2 when you're on step 1. When you're on step 2, you'll get information there.
Yeah.
As you get better, you'll get information there. As you raise your consciousness, you'll hear more, you'll see more, you'll notice more. So trying to accelerate that means that you are pushing, striving, guiding, white-knuckling your way through life, when actually you can be in the present. Trust is a big thing. You're using your trust muscle. It's like picking up a weight. Every time you pick it up, there's a little more of a bicep that develops, and you've got to keep picking up. You can't pick it up once. So you can't just trust once. You've got to keep trusting, reminding yourself to trust. And if you've got everything you need, well, then you get to hang out on the back seat and let God take the wheel.
Absolutely. Yeah. And trust yourself.
Totally, because you got it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people lose their trust in themselves because of their past failures.
Yeah.
I think I was a little bit on that road as well. Is you struggle to trust yourself. I was I'm busy with working with Timothy Kieswetter on STR trauma counseling. It's a program that he developed, which is phenomenal. And I was there on Sunday in Gauteng, and we're busy filming it as well. I'm recording it, and I'm busy writing manuals for it, for him. And what was amazing, that although I've been on this journey now for 3-4 years of healing and studying and writing, I said to him, you need to do this on me. I need to experience it before I can write about it. And it's the second time now. And something came out in the session, because it's a different, when I got my degree or studied psychology, and I got my degree in psychology a couple of months ago, the way of dealing with trauma, and I don't want to derail now, but I want to come back to what you just said, is that in psychology, they take you back to the trauma and relive the trauma until it doesn't hurt anymore, until it becomes almost numb, which I don't really agree about. This new STR trauma is you deal with the emotion, not the event.
Yes.
Which is, I've went through that now with Timothy, and something came out of something in my childhood that happened in my house where I grew up with my parents, and I saw something as a child, and it was made of that. It was I didn't see the right.
Right.
So what happened was I started not trusting his passé and not trusting myself, because I saw something today. I mean, I'm now 50, and this healing came last week, whereby I realized that my power to trust myself was taken away when I was 7 years or 6 years old. And it goes back to our conversation where we need to trust ourselves. Sometimes somebody, take their power away, but we can take it back and trust ourselves more.
It's such a powerful statement because what I see in what you are talking about there is this idea of an experience that had sensations, which you call feelings and emotions. And so now when those emotions come up, what the world tells us to do is to don't look at it, and what you saw, you didn't see that. So we are constantly suppressing and sweeping under the carpet certain things. So I agree with you. We don't want to rehash the trauma, but we definitely want to see through certain experiences that trigger us. And that feeling is like a love letter from God to say, I want you to look. Please look.
Look at the good instead of the bad in life.
Because feelings are simply indicators of what we're thinking.
Yeah, and most feelings are not even real.
Not even real, because they were given to us by our family of origin and our culture, all those kinds of things. And we had no choice but to take them on.
Yeah.
So that's why I talk about a calling. If you are called to do this work, you've got everything you need to open up to certain facts, truths, because I only work with the truth. I'm not interested in concepts or theories. I want to work with the truth. I want to ground people in the truth. And of course, we only have one planet and 8 billion truths.
Absolutely.
So we think we've got, one world, but we've actually got 8 billion worlds, because your world is different to mine. So the perspective, the lens that I look through is not the lens you look through, which is why we need so many people with different perspectives, because people will resonate with you and not with me, and others will resonate with me and not with someone else. So we are called, we need to show up, we need to do the work, and it will be with people that are called to you. And what's meant for you can't miss you.
Yeah.
What a wonderful truth to know.
That's amazing. Say it again.
What's meant for you will never miss you. Yeah. And that's freedom.
That is.
Yeah. It's knowing that as you continue on this path and take the next step, the next thing will be given to you when you're present in real time. But you need to be present. So, I'd like to just to speak. How do you get present? Well, how do you know you're not present? It's the feeling. So the feeling, when you recognize it, the sensation, it's the barometer to guide you that it's not wrong. The feeling is there to let you know, hey, I think you're going down the wrong path. Not wrong, but not right.
I've got a different take. Well, not a different take. Maybe it's different, but on being present. So, we used to run this entertainment industry or business, and it takes a lot of you in late hours. And I've seen it now. And my wife and her daughter, I won't say reprimanded me so many times, but they would talk to me, and my mind is at a different place. My wife, Maura, I would stand with her, and she would talk to me, and I would turn around and walk away, not hearing hers because I'm not present. And I made a constant decision to be more present. That's just one example of not being present. You can give us another 10 examples, but that I realize in my life, I need to be present to for my family, for my wife, for myself, because you can get distracted with your thoughts, and they could, take you in a direction where you're not present and not seeing opportunities. Stress, worry have in the past taken me out of the presence, and I'm missed opportunities because I'm pondering on how to resolve this. And most of the time that never happens, like we said earlier. So which is amazing.
It really is. And what I feel you are pointing to is this ability to listen. And being present requires that you surrender to the moment and simply engage with another human being consciously. And that's a practice. And once you develop that skill, just the mere act of listening with nothing on your mind, not listening to respond, not listening to deny, not listening to compare, not listening to judge, not listening to criticize.
That's difficult.
Listening for listening's sake. Do you know that skill as a coach is probably one of the greatest skills you could ever develop? Because you don't need to say one word, but that person will feel more hurt than they've ever felt in their lives. One of my mentors says, most people don't need a good talking to. Most people need a good listening to. And when you feel listened, heard, seen, acknowledged, your world changes, because finally it feels like what you were describing, your wife speaking to you, but your mind is somewhere else. So you can be with your most amazing partner in an amazing relationship, but if your mind's at work, you're not present. Or if you're at work and you wish you were at home, you're not present. So you are diluting everything you do to be half measures, half-arsing your life.
Absolutely. You can miss life.
Yes.
Because you're not present.
Yes, and you were talking about opportunities. I say that if you are not present, you could literally be sacked through the face with a wet fish. I don't know where that carrot from. It's very cute. But you won't wake up because you're somewhere else. So you could be shopping in Woolworths, buying the most exotic food, putting it in your trolley, but you're so stressed about where you've got to go, who you've got to look at, all of those multiple things. And then when that happens, you won't even know what you're doing. And that's sad, especially when it comes to relationships, especially parent-child relationships.
Obviously, you teach coaches, you train coaches to become coaches, because one thing that I heard you say in the past, whatever you do, you can only reach so many people. But if you teach people, you can, your teaching can get to a lot of people. You want to change the world like me and like a lot of other people for the good. But you've started a MindFit coaching for teens. Tell me more about that, because that's something that's, I like a lot.
Yes. Coaching adults for the time that I did, and corporates and groups and so on, I so often used to hear people say, why don't they teach this in school? I wish I knew this when I was younger. Me too. I wish I knew this thing that I learned, on this journey when I was much younger. But we weren't talking about that. We were talking about other crap in school that didn't help me at all. And this should be in schools. And so I had an incident in my own personal life. One of my family members took an overdose as a teenager, and I made a promise to God that I would do something about that. And that's how MindFit for Teens was born. It was born out of a deep desire to make a difference for young people, and out of a passion to see the world differently, so that young people could feel better about themselves. Because like we said, there's so much coming at us, and in this world of the digital space, these kids are so inundated with the wrong information. So who's there to guide that? And that's what we do with the MindFit for Teens, is we literally take them through how to be in life, how to navigate life, how to know who they are. And I'm so impressed with young people when they get it, because they get it quickly, because they don't have so many programs, because we've been on the planet for longer, so we're so programmed. But they have this beautiful opportunity, should they allow themselves to, and be open and coachable and teachable, which is what we do with the MindFit for Teens, is to get them to notice other people, and then it stops the bullying, it stops the lying, it stops the, trying to hide things from. There's an open relationship, and we work with the parents thereafter to say, this is what we are inviting your children to see. So we need to ask you to see this too, because otherwise it's counterproductive. We're giving them unbelievable information, but you are doing something different. Not wrong, just the best you know how. Innocently, we do it innocently, Morna. This is the thing. We can't look at other people and say they get it right and they get it wrong, because they live in a different world with different perspectives. So if we take away the judgment and the criticism, and we are present, compassion builds in us. And now we can actually empower people. And when we get to the teenagers, you'll be surprised. I say all boats rise with the tide.
Yeah.
So one person in a household, one person, no matter the age, can infiltrate the energy and the frequency of that home and create harmony, because that person will be the shining example. And I mean shining. It's literally like sparkles are coming out of their eyes because they see the world in a new way.
Absolutely. I mean, when we spoke, when you read my book, I mean, obviously, my counseling practice is evolving, and I haven't even taken off fully yet. We've got my wife's daughter who stays with us. She's 17 years old, and she's an introvert, but she is. We realize that we need to do something to help her, because she is homeschooling, which is a good and a bad thing, but she has no identity. She's no self-worth. She doesn't know. She can't even make decisions on her own.
Yes.
So I started a couple of months or two ago, and I've actually done a lot of research, and I've written. I don't know where all this written's coming about, because I'm writing the whole time, and I'm studying a new course now as well. But I've written a manual on teen identity and self-worth for youngsters, because I think in the world with social media, you would agree with me, is that, they don't know who they are.
No.
They don't know where they're going.
No.
So last week I did just a trial on 3 of them. My wife's daughter and 2 others. And I phoned one of the schools. I said, send me one of your children. Teenager that's in matric now. And it was life-changing for them to find out. And I mean, we do tests on them, like a VIA test, to see where their values lies. And we then build on that. But I love what you're saying, and if parents, I think a lot of parents sit there who's going to be seeing this and watching this interview from you, that needs to get in contact with you and find out more about, because we need to equip our children.
Sorry to
This whole thing that I've been writing now, and I need to make changes to it. I saw it when I did the trial with these is. And I like what you said. There needs to be a parent session as well.
Right.
And a lot of these issues come from overprotective parents.
Yes, it can be.
Can be. So I've got a whole session in mind as well for parents to say, listen, that you need to, this is what you need, how you need to treat your child going forward. When they let them rather struggle and help them, then to when they struggle, take it away and do it for them.
Yes, we need adversity. We all need it. I don't wish trauma on anyone. The fact of the matter is, you will have it. And so that adversity creates resilience. And we cannot survive in this modern world if we're not resilient. So that's what the inner GPS for children, or the MindFit for teens, is based on, the same principles. Teaches them is that regardless of what's happened to you up until this point, there's still within you something and a capacity to look at life from a different point of view. Here's the thing though, Monet. Parents themselves are role modeling to their children the aspects that we are trying to counter. Too much, scrolling, too much alcohol, too much shopping. And you talk about the overprotectiveness. So it's like trying to give them a soft landing, rather than letting them learn. And I don't like the word tough love, but for people that understand that, it literally means like, let them fall. You're going to be there to pick them up.
Absolutely.
And the trust factor comes in again. They're going to be okay if you're present with it. You see, these principles are perpetuated once you understand the human psyche. You can't miss this.
Yeah.
It's in your face all the time. So, the removal of a device or limiting the device is not for a parent to be nasty. That's what you're supposed to do. Yes, you got to have the hard conversation with your child.
And it's not to be a bad parent. I literally, an hour before we started shooting this, read, I think it's Denmark, has now put a new law in place that teenagers under the age of 15 are not allowed on social media for a reason.
Do you know that the very people that develop these devices and these apps do not allow their children to have them.
Exactly.
That must tell you something.
Exactly.
There's a beautiful documentary called The Social Dilemma. I really encourage every single parent to take a look at that and watch it with your child so that you've got justification for your boundaries that you must put in place. That's your job.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You wouldn't give your child a snake to play with, and if it was venomous, say, you'll be okay, just don't let it bite you.
But we allow.
But we give them these devices that are toxic beyond anything and a wonderful tool. So it's both aid. So if we can identify, you speak about, teenagers there, who do they identify with? Well, if the role models that they are observing as their parents are kind of going beyond this sense of, I know who I am, trust who I am, I live the life that is fulfilling me, and it's a good life, they're looking at social media because they're not getting it from you. And what are they getting? Oh, I don't even want to talk about what is on TikTok. It's not even watched. I don't even, I've seen some things and I just remove myself because.
Yeah, I mean, even on Instagram is what the youngsters use these days. We are older generation, very Facebook people. But even on Instagram, there's adults on or young people without or minimal clothes, and as soon as they stop and have a look at it, it's like the algorithm sees, okay, this person want to see more, and the more you scroll, the more you will see. So it is horrific on what comes up with no they don't no limits. I mean, you can be a 10-year-old and then you will be exposed to this, which is the impact that it has on a teenager is.
And of course, once you've seen it, you can't unsee it.
That's the thing.
It's a paradox, really, when you consider, to allow them and limit them. But you can do that. I allow it this time, I allow these things, but I disallow these things because that's called guidance.
And also values. And this is what I, identity and values. If you can install the right values, and if they know what their values is, they might just scroll past it. If they know that does not align with my values, but they don't know their values. They see this as exciting and want to know more.
Well, you're dealing with brain science there. Because once that dopamine gets spiked, just normal experiences pale into non-existence at the thrill of seeing something that's maybe a little bit on the edge.
Yeah.
And that's when the lies start, and that's when they stop, going to bed at a decent time, and now they're looking at it with their friends, and now you've got no control over that whatsoever. If you've never taken the time to sit with your child, be present, and speak about the values that you are obviously referring to.
Sharon, it was an absolute privilege sitting with you on the toes. And if there's people out there watching this, you need to get hold of Sharon Castle. Doesn't matter for what. So if you want to become a coach, if you want to join the de-stress program, I see it's so cheap at the moment.
249 Rand.
So if you're not even in South Africa, that's going to be a couple of cents from you. Get in hold with Sharon from MindFit Coaching Academy, and I'll put all the details in the caption. All her details, her website would be. And if you've got youngsters, I can highly recommend get hold of Sharon Castle by email or website. This program, when is it kicking off? Next year? Or are you really busy with it?
No, we're busy with it all the time. All available.
Get hold of Sharon. I mean, it's going to change your life. It's going to change your child's life. And, even if you just want to be present, you're missing life if you're not present.
Totally. Thank you, Monet.
Thank you very much.
And I really just want to say, I wish you so much fulfillment and success with your incredible book. I think everyone should read it, whether they're divorced or not, because it's about relationships.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
The valuable information you've given and the vulnerability that you've shown in that book just is beyond anything I've seen.
I don't like giving you a book. You don't have a book.
No, I have not.
You've read it.
Is this mad?
It's your. Thank you very much. So yeah, Sharon, you've reviewed my book as well, and it's on my social media as well. But yeah, I'm excited, and I'm excited, and you're the first one on our HealSpace podcast series. Because you've had an impact on my life.
Thank you.
When I was on a wrong path and didn't know, you gave me like little tools, and to get me to where I was first.
Thank you, Monet. I appreciate that very much, and so much love and good wishes for you.
That's